next thing is that we have a resolution. Well, first of all, we have a proposal for a local law, number 1, year 2012. Local law amending Chapter 75 of the Code of Rosendale regarding the exploration and extraction of natural gas and petroleum products. Should I have to read this with them? Local law amending Chapter 75 of the Code of Rosendale regarding the exploration and extraction of natural gas and petroleum products. This law is adopted and enacted pursuant to the authority granted to the town board under the New York State Constitution and the laws of New York State, including but not limited to New York State Municipal Home Rule Law, Section 10, and New York State Town Law. Number 2, it is the purpose of this local law to promote those purposes outlined in 75(3) of the Code of the Town of Rosendale, and more specifically, A, it is the purpose of this local law to promote the protection, order, conduct, safety, health, and well-being of the residents of the town of Rosendale and the lands that lie within the town's borders. B, it is the purpose of this local law to protect and enhance the town's physical and visual environment. C, it is the purpose of this law to respond to legitimate concerns of the citizens of the town about the potential for expansion of the exploration or the extraction of natural gas and/or petroleum industry in the town, and about the potential for major portions of the town and citizens to be adversely impacted by such industry. D, it is the purpose of this local law to uphold and implement the Town of Rosendale Comprehensive Plan as currently adopted. E, further, it is the purpose of this local law to control those activities related to the exploration for or extraction of natural gas and/or petroleum industry which may impact wetlands, lakes, streams, groundwater resources, drinking supplies, public roads, historic landscapes, agriculture, small town character, the town's tourism and recreational-based economy, impacts related to the exploration for or extraction of natural gas and/or petroleum industry the town of Rosendale seeks to avoid include, but are not limited to, contaminated water supplies, air pollution, traffic congestion, deterioration of roads and bridges, noise, introduction of industrial uses into non-industrial areas, human and animal illness, and incompatible changes to the character of the town. 3. Section 7556 of the Code of the Town of Rosendale is amended as follows. And that the following definitions shall be added to 7556. Natural gas, any gaseous substance, either combustible or non-combustible, which is produced in a natural state from the earth and which maintains a gaseous or rarefied state at standard temperature and pressure conditions and/or gaseous components or vapors occurring in or derived from petroleum or other hydrocarbons. Natural gas and/or petroleum exploration, geologic or geophysical activities related to the research for natural gas, petroleum, or other subsurface hydrocarbons, including prospecting, geophysical and geologic seismic surveying, sampling techniques, which include but are not limited to core or rotary drilling, or making an evacuation and search and evaluation of natural gas, petroleum, or other subsurface hydrocarbon deposits. Natural gas and/or petroleum exploration product materials, any solid, semi-solid, liquid, semi-liquid, or gaseous materials used in the exploration or extraction of natural gas. Natural gas exploration and petroleum products waste, any garbage, refuse, cutting, sludge, flowback fluids, produced waters, or discarded materials, including solid, liquid, semi-solid, or contained gaseous materials that results from or is associated with the exploration, drilling, or extraction of natural gas or petroleum. Natural gas and/or petroleum extraction, digging or drilling of a well for the purpose of exploring for, developing, or producing natural gas, petroleum, or other subsurface hydrocarbons. Natural gas and/or petroleum extraction support activities, the construction, use, or maintenance of a storage or staging yard, water or fluid injection station, a water or fluid gathering station, a natural gas or petroleum storage facility, or a natural gas or petroleum gathering line, venting station, or compressor associated with the exploration, extraction of natural gas or petroleum. Or a new 75(9) shall be added to read as follows. 75(9) prohibited uses. A, prohibition against the exploration for or extraction of natural gas and/or petroleum. No land in the town shall be used to conduct any exploration for natural gas and/or petroleum, to drill any well for natural gas and/or petroleum, to transfer, store, process, or treat natural gas and/or petroleum, or to dispose of natural gas and/or petroleum exploration or production waste, or to erect any derrick, building, or other structure, or to place any machinery or equipment for such purposes. B, the prohibition against the storage, treatment, disposal of natural gas and/or petroleum exploration and production materials. No land in the town shall be used for the storage, transfer, treatment, or disposal of natural gas and/or petroleum exploration, production materials. C, prohibition against the storage, treatment, disposal of natural gas and/or petroleum exploration and production waste. No land in the town shall be used for the storage, transfer, treatment, and/or disposal of natural gas and/or petroleum exploration and production waste. D, prohibition against natural gas and/or petroleum extraction and support activities. No land in the town shall be used for natural gas and/or petroleum extraction and support activities. E, gasoline filling stations. No provision of this law shall be deemed to regulate gasoline filling stations as defined in this chapter. 5, effective date. This local law shall take effect immediately when it is filed in the office of the New York State Secretary of State in accordance with Section 27 of the Municipal Home Rule Law.
Who wrote that?
Excuse me?
Who wrote that code?
Who wrote the code? Mary Lou Cristiano.
Okay.
Yep.
Does it address propane tanks that are buried and?
No,
Natural gas.
just natural gas drilling and the equipment and waste that's, doesn't have anything to do with.
But propane is not considered,
Only if you live off of Route 213.
yeah. They're Binnewater, right?
We need to do a resolution scheduling a public hearing for local law number 1 of 2012. A motion to schedule a public hearing for the consideration of local law number 1 of 2012, amended chapter 75 of the Code of Rosendale regarding the exploration and extraction and of natural gas and petroleum products on September 12, 2012 at 7:30 p.m. The Town of Rosendale Recreation Center, and authorizing the town clerk to publish notice of said public hearing.
I'll second that.
Roll vote. Councilman Gallagher?
No.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes, I'm confused, this is a resolution, not just a motion?
This is a motion to have the public hearing.
Okay.
It's a resolution for that, so it should be.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Councilman Hassett?
Yes.
Councilman Ryan?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes. Resolution 8, 2012.
Oh.
4. Yes.
Could I ask you to go to number 11, because I'm about ready to fall asleep here?
We'll be there in a second. We gotta finish this one first.
Okay.
Resolution referring local law number 1 to Town and County Planning Board. Whereas the Town of Rosendale is considering amending its zoning law by proposed local law number 1 of 2012, whereas the Town Board of the Town of Rosendale is required to refer said proposed law to the Ulster County Planning Board and the Town of Rosendale Planning Board. Now therefore be resolved that the Town Clerk of the Town of Rosendale be directed to send proposed law number 1, 2012 to Ulster County Planning Board and the Town of Rosendale Planning Board for referral.
That was good.
Roll vote. Councilman Gallagher?
No.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes.
Councilman Hassett?
Yes.
Councilman Ryan?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes. I'm going to do a favor for Carol. Switch to 11.
That'd be number 5.
I'm trying to see which one's resolution. All right, so number 5. Resolution 8, 2012-5, Resolution Budget Amendment 2012 General Fund. Whereas pursuant to regulations from the New York State Office of the State Comptroller, unanticipated revenues must be indicated in the current budget by a budget amendment. And whereas the town of Rosendale has realized such unanticipated revenues from a ban for the sewer department during fiscal year 2012. Now therefore be resolved that the town board of the town of Rosendale hereby amend the 2012 budget of the town of Rosendale to reflect the above as follows. 1. Proceeds from ban $100,000. 2. Add to the sewer fund appropriation account SS 8130.2. Treatment district equipment in sum of $100,000. It be it further resolved that these amendments do not change the amount raised from the Rosendale taxpayers for the 2012 budget.
I'll second it.
Roll vote. Councilman Gallagher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes.
Councilman Bassett?
Yes.
Councilman Harmon?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes.
I thank you.
Yep. Resolution 08.
Hold on. Carol, you don't want to stay for us taking by eminent domain all the houses on 213?
I think my husband believe me if I don't get it.
Before saying he's leaving now.
Resolution 8, 2012.
I didn't even know he was there.
This is a resolution to accept Bernier and Larios to do the work for the Binnewater Dam decommissioning. Resolution to accept the bid for engineering work to decommission the Binnewater Dam. Whereas the town of Rosendale has determined that repair and maintenance for the Binnewater Dam would be too costly. And whereas the town of Rosendale has a need for an engineer who's trained and experienced in dams to advise the town of Rosendale on the decommissioning of the Binnewater Dam. And whereas the town of Rosendale requested and received several proposals for said services, and whereas the firm of Bernier and Larios, PC 67 Maiden Lane, Kingston, New York, 12401, submit an estimate for Phase 1 environmental review for up to $4,500, and for a Phase 2 prepared dam decommissioning plan for $6,950, as more specifically set forth in the scope of services attached hereto, and made part hereof. And whereas after careful consideration and review by members of the town board, it is recommended the town of Rosendale enter an agreement with the above mentioned firm. Now therefore be resolved that the town board of the town of Rosendale hereby authorize the supervisor to complete and execute a contract for Bernier and Larios, PC, with regards to the foregoing.
I'll second it.
This is just the engineering work, right?
Yes,
What was the amount on the phase 2?
$6,950.
Roll vote. Councilman Gallagher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes, I just want to qualify that I am agreeing to the engineering work. In my mind, I'm not totally supportive of the decommissioning yet, but the work needs to be done. So I'm voting for the,
$500 a day, there would be nothing.
What did you have in mind, Dan? You're saying you have an objection. What's your objection?
no, the question, it's still not clear in my mind that this is the right way to go.
What is it you think is the right way to go?
I think there are several alternatives, including, the original thought was to put gunite or whatever to strengthen the existing facility.
And
I'm
we're
just not,
Have you had conversations with engineers to come to
I've had some conversations, and I just wanted to be noted that I still have a reservation. It's not clear to me that decommissioning is the right.
what is is it about it that's not clear? That's why I'm not understanding what your objection is, because I think it's pretty clear when DEC tells us that this has to be done, or we're going to be in violation. And I think it's pretty clear when you have multiple engineering firms tell us that decommissioning is the way to go. What are the other options that you would like to consider?
I told you what the other primary.
Gunite?
Well, whatever it takes to strengthen the dam rather than take.
We have, basically, you know, the county hasn't made up their mind what they're gonna do. We've taken a poll of the different towns to see what they're doing. Most people are doing the one-year extension, and I'm recommending that we do that too, so that we have some time to explore what other options there might be, and wait and see what the county's gonna do with the actual facility. So if that's okay, I don't think it's gonna, you know, there's no way we're gonna come up with another plan to change, so. Resolution extension amendment to solid waste management agreement with the Ulster County Resource Recovery Agency. Whereas the above agency and the town of Rosendale desire to extend the term of the agreement for a period of 1 calendar year, now therefore it is hereby agreed by the parties to amend further the agreement as follows. The term of the agreement shall be extended for 1 year to October 1st, 2013, except to the extent it is inconsistent with the terms of the extension amendment, the agreement shall remain in full force and effect in accordance with its terms. Now therefore may further be resolved that the town board of the town of Rosendale hereby authorizes the supervisor to enter into contract for such services.
I'll second. I'd like to just make a couple very quick comments and one point. One is that I've been tracking pretty closely as a member of the Solid Waste Study Group, what's going on at the county, and you know, the export fees are really as serious a problem as the debt service. And the reason we haven't been able to pay down the debt service is every year we have to pay a fortune, approximately $3 million a year, to export our waste to western New York, and in the past it went to Pennsylvania. We really need to bite the bullet and find a place in Ulster County for our waste. It doesn't make sense in terms of air pollution, and it doesn't make sense in terms of cost. And I also want to state, I totally support the resolution, but I want to also state that it does not make sense fiscally or any other way to disassemble the Resource Recovery Agency at a time when we need to be doing a countywide composting program and doing everything we can to manage our waste responsibly within its borders. And I'm not speaking on behalf of the league, it's just because I'm a member of the league that I have been, the league study committee, that I've been tracking this closely. And I do not say that out of any allegiance to the Ulster County Resource Recovery Agency, because I did work for them for 10.5 years. I'm saying it as a concerned resident of this county. We've got to have a landfill, we've got to have flow control, and we've got to keep the Resource Recovery Agency managing that whole system as well as it can. And the best way to pay off the bonds is to build a landfill so we get the revenue instead of having to pay somebody else the revenue for our waste and trucking it, you know, thousands, hundreds of thousands of miles a year, hundreds of thousands of tons of waste. It just doesn't make sense, and we have got to get responsible. The only reason, the primary reason this didn't happen 20 years ago was that we weren't able to have a community conversation that determined where the best place in the county to landfill our waste, our residual waste, to reduce, reuse, recycle, and pull out the hazardous material and compost. So I hate to get on a soapbox, but the more people understand that, the more likely we are to have a wise decision a year from now.
I would recommend that, you know, you have some interest and knowledge in this area, that you start to attend the county legislator meetings they've been having
Yeah,
about this.
I have.
Okay.
I didn't get to the one this week, but I went to the previous, and I will be the
I've
So
been trying to get him to do it in Jack Snyder's backyard, but
I offered my mine, but they wouldn't take it.
I can't say as I sit here and disagree with you as far as citing a landfill in Ulster County, but I'm gonna refer back to the last 20 years and any type of major development that's come to this county and the opposition that it's received specifically from the environmentalists. And you're sitting here now and saying that we need to cite a dump in this county. Now let me ask you, with all due respect, Mrs. Green, all due respect, because I respect what you do. You have immense knowledge of the subject. Where in the world in this county do you think someone would be receptive to that?
Ellen.
And no, forget about it. But do you understand what I'm saying? I get frustrated that we have, without being specific, but we have projects on the board, within the borders of this county, specifically right here, that could potentially be good for the residents of our town, of our county. And there's so much opposition. In this fact, 7 years of opposition. Lies and deceit and hate and all the stuff that's gone with it. And to sit here and hear you say that we need, as a county, to cite a landfill, I think that you would have better luck putting a camel through the eye of a needle. And I say that only because I've been involved with everything that we've been speaking about here for so long. And I'm almost floored. I'm almost going like this to hear you say, we need to find a place in our county for a dump. And we can't agree to build a resort that's going to bring revenue and jobs and prosperity, potentially, to our little patch of paradise here. Again, no disrespect meant, but I'm absolutely floored to hear you say that we need to cite a dump in this county, or a landfill. And the question is, where? Who? You say we need to have a community conversation. Does that mean that everybody gets together and says, it's Ellenville, right? It's Ellenville. All right, we all talk, it's Ellenville. I'm being facetious, but Hardenburg, where? You know, Hardenburg, the least populated area of our county, the most beautiful area of our county, probably the most sensitive area of our county, as far as, you know, watershed, woods, and things like that. So, I can't say as I disagree with you, but coming from you, Manna, I'm laying back on the floor.
I was an environmentalist 20 years ago when I supported a landfill, and it was only because there wasn't the political will to bite the bullet. And then the Cashin and Cahill report came out and said, oh, we've got an answer, ship it out of county, and ship your dollars and add to the pollution burden. And now, 20 years later, we haven't paid off the bonds for closing the Rosendale landfill and all of the other landfills that were open 20 years ago. And with regard to the HRVR project, I believe that many of the people that you're referring to as opposing the project wanted to improve it by assuring that the resources, that the natural resources that the project was going to impact were addressed, and to a certain extent that has already happened. I have to look at some final comments to address my comments, which I will do directly to DEC, whether they accept them or not. But that, I think, is a difficult comparison to make. And I do think that if the citizen advisory group, which was from all over the county and from every sector, were reconstituted, that they could help cite a landfill.
Well, there
I
was.
know you don't want to go on like
Here
that.
comes the cat.
There was, at the Ulster County Supervisors meeting, one company that was talking about using like a bioenergy, so that's a possibility too. We don't know, but
All right.
Tonight,
So
we're just
have
gonna
the vote.
extend this for 1 year.
Grandstand on this. Full vote?
Councilman Gallagher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes.
Councilman Hassett?
Yes.
Councilman Ryan?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes.
All right, number 12 is transfer of funds for the budget. This is number 8, resolution 8. Resolution budgetary transfer for August, be resolved that the town board of the town of Rosendale hereby authorizes the following budgetary transfers. $100 from 1330.1 tax collector PS to 1330.4 tax collector CE. 32,000 from 7150.1 pool PS to 3122.1 police unallocated. 100 3510.2 dog control equipment to 3510.4 dog control CE. $1,000 from 1910.4 special items unallocated. 3510.4 dog control CE. 300 from 7310.1 youth programs PS to 7310.2 youth programs equipment. 5,000 from 1910.4 special items unallocated 7320.4 youth summer camp CE, and 1,500 from 1910.4 special items unallocated to 8010.1 ZBA PS.
One second.
Excuse me, roll vote, Councilman Gallagher?
I'd like to ask a question about special items unallocated for 5,000 to the youth and summer camp. You know why?
Yes, that was because we rented, some equipment like the slide, the water slides, and Kathy doesn't have things in her budget in the beginning of the year, but she raises the funds for some of these things, and the money has to get transferred into the budget because it wasn't there to begin with. So basically, summer camp was a little bit more,
I don't buy that. She's got a budget stuff, she should be budgeted.
Well, go ahead and say
Yes, it was never like that before. If she's saying that it's like that now, it's been like that?
no,
No, it's not.
she had permission to go ahead and
It was
get the water slide because we had no pool. We had to have a way to cool the kids off and to do some other activities because there was no pool. I think there was a cooking class and some other things that we did that they don't usually have at camp to take the place of the time they spend at the pool.
Yeah.
Roll vote, Councilman Gallagher?
Unfortunately, yes.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes.
Councilman Hassett?
yes.
Councilman Ryan?
Yes. Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes. And we have to go into executive session to discuss an appointment of a particular person, the discipline of a particular person, and commission member.